It's been a long time coming, but time now for another Q&A. Last one we did was all the way back in November. Now, it used to be I would do it monthly, like once a month we would do Q&A, but I decided to change it up a little bit and do it based on milestones. So, because we reached 6,000 subscribers over the weekend, by the way, thanks to all my awesome viewers, subscribers, and fans, each and every one of you proud members of the GeauxBurns Nation, for getting us to that latest goal. We're going to do a new Q&A, and I gave you guys a few days to submit your question for Q&A today. So we're going to go in alphabetical order, and we had submissions from YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and the first one, Discord. That's right, we have a Discord. All the social media linked below in the description section. Kicking things off, we got Bacon off of Discord. What do you plan on doing for 2018? Like, will you be playing PC games with subscribers or changing the format, the way you play games? Basically, what's in store for 2018? Bacon, I think this is a fantastic way to kick off the Q&A. Now, regarding 2018, a lot of things are going to remain the same, but throughout the year, things will change, or more appropriately, be included and added to the channel going forward. And I just recently finally pulled the trigger and ordered a badass gaming rig. So I have that coming in sometime this week. I'm going to get that set up once I redo my office. I'm working on that today probably. Got to throw a lot of stuff away, clean it out, rearrange a few things. But once I have my brand new Battlestar fully operational and ready to go, then there's definitely going to be more streaming on the channel. I'm probably going to be streaming at night a lot, like Dead by Daylight and perhaps even Friday the 13th, doing night streams with my friends Azulin, Retro, a few others as well, and other games too. For example, coming up in March, the launch of Sea of Thieves. I'm very excited about Sea of Thieves. I did play a little bit during the closed beta. If you want to check out those videos, they're up on the channel. I played with Azulin and a few others as well. And I love me some pirate games. And I'm very, very excited for Sea of Thieves. So look for some Sea of Thieves content coming up on the channel. Sometime in March, most likely it's going to be live streaming Sea of Thieves. And like I said, I'm thinking about either doing it like in the afternoon time or evening time. I'm going to do it around a time that works for my subscribers, because I got subscribers in North America. And of course I got subscribers in Ireland, the UK, Europe. So I'm trying to come up with a good time. I think maybe like 1 or 2 o'clock p.m. Central is probably what we're going to be doing. But back to what I was talking about, the new gaming rig is going to allow me to be able to do more live streaming. So that is one of the things coming up in 2018. Along with any news, any promotional stuff regarding Red Dead Redemption 2, and hopefully the launch of Red Dead Redemption 2 in October. As far as I know, that's everything that I'm planning on doing with the channel. All the other stuff will remain the same. We continue covering Grand Theft Auto Online. We continue playing Grand Theft Auto Online. We continue showing the new vehicles that come out in the Dripocalypse 2018, along with the whatever DLCs come out this year, along with discuss videos as well as rant videos. So for the most part, everything that's on the channel right now, not changing. We're only going to be continuing to evolve and grow the channel as we grow the GeauxBurns Nation. And we may live stream a few other games that come out in 2018 as well. Let me know below in the comment section what games that are coming out this year that you would like for me to live stream on the channel. Thanks for the question, Bacon. Next, we go to Brian off of Twitter. Hi, GeauxBurns. I got a question. What is the worst thing you ever saw in movies or TV show? Mine is a movie, or Rough Night and Old Fashioned. Okay, have an awesome day. Well, I hope you have an awesome day as well, Brian, and everyone else that took the time to watch this Q&A, as well as everyone that submitted a question for the Q&A. Now, the worst thing I ever saw on TV, I'll state two things. The 1980s movie, The Thing, it's not the original one, it was a remake. That shit scared the crap out of me when I was a kid. I don't know if it would scare me as much now, but I don't know if I'm ever going to, have the courage to go back and rewatch The Thing, but it did kind of scare me from back in the day. And the other thing that scared me was a scene in Evil Dead 2 where a deer head or a moose comes to life, real briefly. I think it's a moose. I don't think it's a deer head. But it ties into this ongoing nightmare I've had since I was a kid. Well, I haven't had it in a very long time. And I think I've mentioned it a few times in previous Q&As and other videos. My grandfather was a hunter. Well, he still is. He's not a hunter anymore, but he used to be a lot more avid hunter. And so he has a few mounted deer heads on his wall. And I was having one of these surreal dreams that you didn't know if you were awake or asleep. It felt real. And I was walking, down the hallway, and I saw one of the deer heads move. And then I'm like, hey, did you just move or some shit? And then the deer heads stare at me and their eyes start glowing red and they have sharp teeth and they're snarling. It's kind of creepy. In fact, the other day, for some reason, I guess because of Azralin's live stream of Until Dawn, when she was talking about the Wendigo. And I've seen I think Delirious live play it a while back. But I decided for some reason to Google Wendigo or Wendigo. It's Wendigo. Wendigo. And I wanted to see if that was actually a thing, or was that something created solely for the video game. And it turns out the Wendigos are real. And there's a version of the Wendigo that actually has a deer head with evil-looking eyes and sharp teeth. So that kind of gave me the fear. Thanks for the submission, Brian. Yeah, I won't be able to sleep tonight. But moving on to our next question. We got Camo. What got you into YouTube? And what kept you doing videos? Thanks for the question, Camo. Okay, what got me into YouTube? I guess it harkens back from my radio career, as I've mentioned a few times as well. I have been in radio once upon a time, and I love being in radio, and I picked up a lot of skills from radio. And when YouTube started becoming a thing over a decade ago, mostly like silly videos, I even had a smaller silly channel. I don't even know if it exists anymore, but then I started becoming more political about a decade ago, and I had a political channel for a while. I'm not as political as I used to be because I hate politics now. And, throughout that time, I became a content creator. I loved making videos about things I was passionate about. I even helped my dad with his channel when my dad was still alive. He had a YouTube channel. That channel is still up, by the way. And I've always had a passion for playing video games. So eventually, my passion for video games and my passion for making content led me down the path nearly 4 years ago of starting this channel. And what keeps me making videos, because like I mentioned, I love playing video games still, and I love making the content, and I love interacting with all of you, my awesome viewers, subscribers, and fans. It's a win-win. I really do enjoy it. Even though, things have gotten harder on YouTube, there's a lot of other content creators and streamers out there. Sometimes you can feel like a small fish in a big giant sea full of other fish, some bigger than others. And YouTube definitely makes it difficult for the smaller fish. But at the same time, I still love making the content just as much as I love playing the games that I make content for. Thanks again for the question, Camo. Moving on to Kane off the GeauxBurns stream team. I believe he submitted this question via the YouTube community section. What's your future plans moving forward for the channel after Grand Theft Auto Online is all said and done and Red Dead Redemption 2 is out? Will you do a Let's Play of Red Dead Redemption 2 campaign? Once more, congrats on 6,000, bro. The GeauxBurns Nation is growing stronger than ever before. Hails to the yeah, it is. Okay, so I think I pretty much answered this question for the most part regarding what Bacon had to ask. His question kind of ties into your question, Kane. And obviously, I will continue covering Grand Theft Auto Online as long as there's stuff to cover, like news articles, various events, Snapmatic contests, Rockstar Editor challenges, as well as all the new DLCs, updates. I'm sure there'll be some that come out in 2018. I don't know if any will come out in 2019. I guess that depends on Rockstar whether they wish to continue adding new content to Grand Theft Auto Online. But Red Dead Redemption 2, as I talked about a moment ago with Bacon, yeah, I am very excited for Red Dead Redemption 2 and any confirmed information, news, trailers, etc. that come out regarding Red Dead Redemption 2. I'm definitely going to be covering it on the channel, and when it comes out in October, hopefully, I'm going to be Let's Playing the hell out of it. The main story, we're going to play through that start to finish, and obviously Red Dead Online too, because that's where probably a lot of the channel is going to be in the future, late 2018 going into 2019 and beyond. It's probably going to be heavily like Red Dead Redemption Online. And hopefully still Grand Theft Auto Online as well. And who knows what other game I'm playing by then, right? Thanks for the question, Kane. Time to move on to our next question From Carlene, one of our awesome mods and retweet warriors off of Twitter. Binged any shows lately? Unoriginal, I know, but I'm curious. Thanks for the question, Carlene. And I guess you could say the DC shows on CW count as binging because there's like 500 or 600 of those shows every week. So it feels like I'm binging every week whenever there's new episodes of Supergirl, Flash, Legends, as well as Arrow, and the new show, which I'm really excited about. I've been enjoying it so far. Black Lightning, which technically isn't connected with the other shows. Eventually, it might just be one of the various Earths that Black Lightning takes place on. But several episodes in so far, I'm absolutely loving Black Lightning for several reasons. It's a great show. And what else am I currently watching? Let's see. X-Files. X-Files has been surprisingly good. I did not like the season premiere, but it's gotten better since the season premiere a few weeks ago. I think tonight's the last episode, I believe, for a while. I could be wrong about that, but anyways. X-Files, Star Trek Discovery, and the season finale for Star Trek Discovery is coming up this Sunday. And it's gotten better, too. So it's come a long way since the start of the series. And there's been some moments, you know, I'm like, oh, come on, whatever. But overall, I've really enjoyed Star Trek Discovery. And if you compare it to the first season of a lot of the other, like, Star Treks, like Star Trek Next Gen and Star Trek Deep Space Nine, considered two of the best Star Trek series, yeah, their first couple seasons were both kind of rocky. And the first season of Discovery has been pretty good by comparison. And coming up probably in, was it April? What do we got? April, we have Season 2 of Westworld. And somewhere in the spring, we're going to have a new season of Better Call Saul. And Walking Dead's going to return eventually. I'm kind of somewhere in the middle on that. I just don't really care, but I'll watch it anyways out of sheer boredom. And I'm also looking forward to Gotham coming back as well. Hopefully it'll be a lot better than the first half of this current season, because overall I was kind of disappointed in the first half of the latest season of Gotham. Thanks again for the question, Carlene, and for everything that you do. Now we're moving over to our one and only Facebook question. And Facebook, why won't you have a night mode? Twitter has a night mode. YouTube has a night mode. Get with the times, Facebook. Give us a night mode. It just feels weird. Anyways, Chris. What's up, Chris? Here's Chris's question off of Facebook. Yes, once again, we do have a Facebook page for all of you that were interested in that. I know, Facebook is dead, right? What is one thing you don't want to see in Red Dead Redemption 2? And do you think we may see a tease of Grand Theft Auto 6 in 2019? I think, Chris, first off, let's talk about Grand Theft Auto 6 because, confirmed, Grand Theft Auto 6 is still not a thing yet, even though some people like to make videos about it, pretending they have copies, and then they get their channels banned, which I'm all for. You know, the less clickbait, the better. Okay, so Grand Theft Auto 6, I get the feeling that if we get something about Grand Theft Auto 6, it won't be till maybe the fall of 2019, maybe, sometime after the final season of Game of Thrones. I'm going to miss Game of Thrones, by the way. I really am. But maybe late 2019, we may get a teaser for Grand Theft Auto 6. Maybe we'll get it in 2020, maybe 2021, maybe 2037. I don't know. The other question, what don't I want to see in Red Dead Redemption 2? Now, I guess we're talking about the main story, the campaign. What I don't want to see in Red Dead Redemption 2 is the similar system they had in Grand Theft Auto 5, where you could have basically the story of 3 protagonists, Michael, Trevor, and Franklin. It worked for Grand Theft Auto 5, but at the same time, it's like lightning in the bottle. I don't think it would work again. Now, bear in mind that Red Dead Revolver had a main character, Red Harlow, but he also, occasionally, you played as other characters too throughout the game of Red Dead Revolver, and technically you play as 2 characters in Red Dead Redemption. For those of you who haven't played it yet, I won't spoil it. So it wouldn't surprise me if we have at least 2 characters in Red Dead Redemption 2, Arthur Morgan and perhaps younger John Marston near the end of the campaign. I'm guessing that's the way it's going to work, even though some people speculated that it's going to be similar to Grand Theft Auto 5, where we have 3 separate characters to switch between. I just don't want that. I'd rather invest more time in, say, 2 characters than, say, 3 or more characters. But in the end, that's really the one thing I don't want to see in Red Dead Redemption 2, besides a whole bunch of silly, ridiculous nonsense. Unless it's a deluxo in a mine somewhere that's boarded up that you can look through, and it gives you kind of like an Easter egg regarding Back to the Future 3. I'm all for that. So, Rockstar, if you want to put that Easter egg in there for me. You know, by the way, the Deluxo is the Grand Theft Auto version of the DeLorean, in case some of you were wondering. Thanks for the question, Chris. Next, we're moving on to CJ Ware. See how much better that looks, Facebook? That looks so much better. Let's see. What dead Rockstar Games property would you like to see make a return? This is pretty easy. I would like to see a new Bully game. I consider it to be dead because we haven't had a sequel to Bully ever. There's only been one Bully game, but I would very much like there to be a sequel or a prequel to Bully. So that's my answer. Short and sweet, I know, CJ, but I mean, we could go on and on about how much I loved the first Bully game. I think most of you get the idea. And I think a lot of people feel the same way, that they would very much like to see a new Bully. Thanks for the question, CJ. Moving on to console gaming. Why did you name yourself GeauxBurns? And this is a tale that I have told many times. And, you know, I understand new subscribers come in. They want to know. First thing happens is they mispronounce GeauxBurns. That's understandable, which is why usually I have it like, you know, it says pronounced GeauxBurns. And some people would be like, GeauxBurns, why didn't you just spell it out that way to begin with? I don't know. The way I spell it now looks cooler, okay? All right, so anyways, Burns is my last name in real life. I know, shocking. Go is kind of a Louisiana thing. Now, Louisiana is different than other states. Well, they think they're different than other states because of their quote-unquote French history. I'm a child of 2 states. I mentioned this. Born and raised in East Texas. Currently live in Louisiana. Both sides of my family are from Louisiana. And along with a lot of the French heritage and, I guess, traditions, at sporting events, often you'll see, like for the college teams or the pro teams, it'll say, you know, Go Tigers or Go Saints or Go Pelicans. And instead of being spelled G-O, it's G-E-A-U-X. I don't know why, but somewhere along the way when I was trying to brainstorm a name idea for my gaming channel back in early 2014, the name GeauxBurns just happened one day. And it worked. It made sense. And it's kind of like that time when Bruce Wayne came up with an identity for himself. You know, he wanted to be a vigilante. He wanted to do this, but he didn't have a cool name. And then a bat scared the shit out of him. And he's like, you know what? That scared the shit out of me. I want to scare the shit out of criminals. I'm going to be Batman from now on. And I guess similar origin story for me. That's how I became GeauxBurns. Thanks for the question, Console Gaming. Moving on now to Dylan. GeauxBurns, how do you rank the methods of businesses in Grand Theft Auto Online? I would have to say Special Cargo is debatably the worst. I grinded Special Cargo this week and only ended up with a fiery delivery plane crash as my reward. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Dylan. Yeah, that would probably be one of the worst in my opinion. If you want to make money in Grand Theft Auto Online, this is what I think you should do. Grind contact missions with friends. I know they're old school, but, you know, the Martin missions can get you some money still. And heists. Whether it's the regular heists, I would grind the hell out of those. Try and get the bonuses as well as the Criminal Mastermind Challenge, because if you can complete the Criminal Mastermind Challenge, you get $10 million. That's not bad. Even by 2018 standards, that's still a pretty decent amount of money in Grand Theft Auto Online. And then I would say maybe get a facility and then do the Doomsday heists. It's another way to make money in the game. But all the other means and ways, I guess I would put import-export at the top because it's the funnest one. And it has a Grand Theft Auto vibe to it because you're still in high-end cars. You know, you can't have Grand Theft Auto in the name without, you know, that being a thing, a staple to the game is, you know, Grand Theft Auto. So import-export, I like import-export. Next would probably maybe be the warehouses for the CEO business, and then maybe the biker businesses, maybe like just the cocaine lockup. You know, the others are kind of crap, I think, for the most part. And then below that, I think maybe gun running, and then maybe just maybe Smuggler's Run at the very bottom of that list. But like I said, my method of making money, you know, if I really had to grind in order to make money in the game, and I didn't have the luxury of buying shark cards in order to show content, I guess I would be grinding the hell out of heists and contact missions. And of course, you always wait for the opportunity to earn double money whenever they have double money events, whether it's adversary modes or races, heists, missions, etc. Thanks for the question, Dylan. Next, we're moving on to Elaine, one of our awesome subscribers. And shout out to Elaine. She helped me whittle down my choices for which gaming PC I was going to go with. So thank you, Elaine, for that. And she's always helpful behind the scenes, you know. So I really do appreciate you, Elaine. Your question to me is this, off of Twitter. What have been the pros, cons of pursuing YouTube as a hobby? And is there anything you would have changed or done differently if you could? Now, I don't think I would do anything differently, Elaine, because I firmly believe that there's really nothing you can do anyways for better or worse going through life. You simply can only learn from your mistakes and, you know, try and correct it going forward and improve, you know, tomorrow, be better than you were today. Now, the pros and cons of pursuing YouTube as a hobby, the pros are obvious because it's something I'm passionate about, as I mentioned a moment ago. I love making content for my awesome subscribers. I love playing video games. It's a great combination. And the other pro is meeting all you guys and becoming friends with you, Elaine, Carlene, Sedan, as well as Azulin, Retro, Hutch, Shotgun, let's see, Chaotic Irishman, Chrome. The list goes on and on. I don't want to leave anyone else out, but you know who you are. All of you that, you know, are regulars, you mean a great deal to me. And all of you that have subscribed to the channel that love my content, even if you're just lurking and you're liking the videos, you mean a great deal to me as well. And so that's definitely a pro. Seeing, you know, the positive feedback from all of you when it comes to what I make, whether it's live streaming or the content, that's freaking awesome. The cons, well, the cons are this. Not everybody is going to like what you make or what you do. And not everybody's going to like you. And that's something that most content creators, most aspiring YouTubers starting out are going to have to come to terms with. Now, when you're first making content and you're a smaller channel, much smaller than me right now, say you have less than 10 subscribers, chances are you're not going to get any dislikes unless you do something that people just absolutely hate. You'll get a few likes, a handful of likes. As you get bigger, you get more likes. But eventually that day is going to come when you're going to come across a video on your channel. For whatever rhyme or reason, there'll be a dislike. Somebody didn't like it. And maybe somebody came along your channel and decided to dislike a lot of your videos. So all of a sudden you see several of your videos all of a sudden overnight have at least one dislike. Maybe more dislikes. That can get to you. I understand that. But at the same time, you have to have a thick skin. And you have to accept the fact that not everybody is going to like you. And believe me, I get a lot of lovely comments in the comment section. In fact, Tuesday morning I woke up, there was a lovely comment about how somebody wanted me kicked off Carrick's podcast. Anyways, that happens. Okay, not everybody's going to like me. And if you don't like me, then obviously you don't have to watch this Q&A. You don't have to subscribe to the channel. You don't have to watch my content. There's plenty of other better YouTube channels out there that may be more appealing for you. And that's the way I look at it. People dislike me. People leave hateful comments. Are in the chat during a live stream. You know, I'm like, whatever. See ya. Bye. Don't let the door hit you on your ass. So that's definitely a con, but that's to be expected. You have to come to terms with that. And the reality is, people are entitled to their opinion. And sometimes they're going to say some pretty hateful stuff. The good news is there is settings in YouTube, the ability to put people on a blacklist to prevent them from ever leaving comments on your channel again or in your chat again. And yep, that list is continuing to grow as I continue to get bigger. Thanks for the question, Elaine. Moving on to Hubschling. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. What are your top 20 favorite video game characters? Villains, protagonists, main, side characters, anything. Even ancillary characters? Random NPC number 27. Yeah, that was my favorite character in Grana Padano Online. I don't know. So anyways, I just want you guys to know something. I am actually doing this off the cusp. I briefly read over some of the questions, but I didn't jot down any notes. A lot of this is just coming straight out of my brain factory and, you know, through my mouth, and words come out. So right here, the challenge is on. Can I come up with 20? Probably not, but I'm going to try my best, Hub. No promises. Okay, so let's go with, let's see, John Marston, Vito Scaletta. Let's see, who else do we want to put on that list? That's 2. I'm going to throw Super Mario out there because, hey, come on. I'm all the way back from the NES days. I love me some Super Mario. Link. I love Link. He's a badass. Yeah, he doesn't talk much, but, you know, he's got his way with the ladies and a sword, you know. All right, so that's 4. Okay, Batman. Okay, that's kind of a gimme. I mean, Batman in what? The Arkham series, Batman in the Telltale series. Okay, there we go. Joker in the Arkham series, voiced by Mark Hamill, and of course, you know, Batman in the Arkham series, voiced by Kevin Conroy. Duh. From the animated series, which I loved so much as a kid. And I do like the new actor that's voicing Joker in the Telltale series. He's done a pretty decent job, but I guess we won't count him. We won't count 2 Jokers. I like Trevor. I like Franklin. I love Lamar. Lamar's freaking hilarious. And Lester, I like Lester as well. The boss from the Saints Row series. Gat. Johnny Gat. Johnny Gat from the Saints Row series. Got to include Johnny Gat. Duh. Nathan Drake. Even though I never played Uncharted, I have watched some people Let's Play it and live stream it, and he seems like a likable character, Nathan Drake. Let's just say we're halfway there. We're living on a prayer. Let's just say roughly I've thrown out 10 characters. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. 10 more, 10 more. Okay, let's go with Tommy Angelo. I love Tommy Angelo, you know, from the original Mafia game. I know I mentioned Vito. I got to mention Joe Barbaro as well, because you can't have Vito without Joe. John Donovan. You know, from Mafia 3, I'm going to mention John Donovan because, you know, who doesn't like John Donovan? Deckard Cain from the Diablo series. Man, I love that friendly, knowledgeable man, you know. Stay a while and listen. You know, broke my heart when he died in Diablo 3. It did. I'm going to say Ball and, was it Bale? No, it's Bale. You know, B-A-L-L. Bale and Diablo 2. Like, he's so manipulative and shit. I'm going to go with Diablo 2's Bell as well. The Lord of Destruction. Okay, Codsworth from Fallout 4. I love Codsworth. He's funny. And let's see. Anyone from Skyrim. Serana. Love me some Serana. Oh, yeah, from Dawn Guard. Yes. Oh, yeah. CJ from Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. And, yes, Tommy Vercetti from Grand Theft Auto Vice City. Count that up. It may have been 20. It may have been more than 20. It may have been less than 20. I don't know, Hub. But anyways, thanks for the question. I'm moving on to my next question, though. Sorry, got to go, Hub. Joseph, you're next on the Q&A. What is your question? Did you like working on the radio? Yes, I absolutely loved working in radio. And like I mentioned, I was in radio for several years. I talked about it in the vlogs channel, the radio vlog, if you want to go check that out. And I even mentioned it briefly in the recent vlog, which I posted over in the community section, if you don't want to go to the channel itself, regarding accomplishments. I love being in radio. I kind of still wish I was in radio, but the job market is terrible in radio because of corporatization, downsizing, etc., etc. But anyways, I learned a lot of valuable skills in radio. I made some great friends, and that's stuff that's going to stay with me for the rest of my days. So yes, absolutely loved being in radio during the good days as well as the bad days. Thanks for the question, Joseph. Moving on to Kevin, Boston. Congratulations again on 6,000 subs. Q&A, how do I increase my audience retention and watch time? Because currently my retention looks like a big pile of garbage. Well, Kevin, that is a very good question. It just depends on the kind of content that you are making. Are you making content that's keeping people there, sitting there, watching your videos? Because everybody's time is important. You know, everyone that's watching this Q&A right now are staying for some reason, whether they want me to get to their question eventually, or they just enjoy the sound of my voice, all nice and suave, or they're having a good time. I don't know. Whatever the reason is for them being here listening to me, I greatly appreciate it. So you have to do the same thing, Kevin. You have to make content that is compelling, that is informative, that is going to keep your audience, you know, paying attention and you know, staying as long as possible when it comes to your videos. So I would suggest, I don't know what exactly you're doing on your channel now. I know you've asked me questions before in the past. I hope your channel is doing better, just like everyone else's channel out there. I hope you've been learning a lot, doing research on YouTube, seeing what people do right, what people do wrong. But when it comes to ways for you to increase your audience, their watch time, that's entirely up to you. I mean, that's something you're just going to look at your channel and just ask yourself hard questions. Am I making the content that's keeping people around in order to reach that, 4,000 hours minimum in order to eventually be monetized? Because that's one of the hurdles now, along with a minimum of 10,000 lifetime views and, of course, 1,000 subscribers. But more importantly, just enjoy the content that you make, Kevin. And if you do, and you're doing a good job, and you get better at the content you make, eventually, hopefully, you will get more subscribers, viewers, fans, and more people watching what you make. So hopefully, in time, all those numbers will go up. Thank you so much for the question, Kevin. Moving on to King. Do you plan on playing Fortnite? No. And when is the PC coming? The PC should be here sometime this week. I'm very excited for it. Also kind of dreaded the price tag. I had to save up a little bit over the past few months in order to afford my brand new gaming computer. But hopefully it'll be a very good investment. And hopefully it'll be here sometime Thursday or Friday, and I'll get it set up and good to go by the weekend. And like I mentioned earlier, I'm really looking forward to doing a lot more streaming with my brand new PC. Thanks for the question, King. Moving on to Logan. Let's see, for Q&A, why don't you try and make reviews on user-made death matches, races, etc.? Well, the honest answer is, Logan, that would be very time-consuming, and I'm already trying to keep things properly scheduled as is on the channel. Like Wednesdays, I try to have a discuss video out. On Sundays, a rant video, which you usually disagree with. That's fine. As long as you continue to be respectful, you're entitled to critique me just like everybody else. Along with my live streams and any new like Grana Padano content that comes out, usually do the Drip-pocalypse on Tuesday mornings. And everything else I do, it's a scheduling issue. And there's also real-life factors to consider as well, because this isn't the only thing in my life. I mean, I really love making content. I love live streaming, but I do have a life. And so it's kind of hard to squeeze more into it than I already have right now. Even though I do plan on more live streaming in the future during times when I'm able to live stream. And I just love live streaming because it's fun. I'm playing live. I'm interacting with you guys via chat. It rocks. But a lot of people just don't play death matches, races anymore. I mean, as I talked about in the most recent rant video, it's sad, but a lot of that has been kind of buried. Even though in several live streams lately, we've had a lot of fun doing some of the old school land races. Like yesterday when we were driving around in the Camacho, most of the races we did were land races because there's maybe one or two stunt races that allow you to use an off-road vehicle, but we had a good time. It was fantastic. But the sad reality is, in Grand Theft Auto Online, unless Rockstar does something to, focus interest back on death matches, races, captures, LTSs, etc., those modes are dead right now. They're quote-unquote abandoned, just like in that Kotaku article. So that's the big reason why I just don't have the time to start a new review series when it comes to user-created death matches, races, etc., even though I know there's a lot of really awesome user-made content out there. Thanks for the question, Logan. Moving on to Lunchhawks. GeauxBurns, if I could ask, can you talk about the good in the Grana Padano community? We always hear about the bad, but not the good. Why not talk about the good channels like yourself, role-playing communities with videos, stories about the game, etc.? I like this question because, you know what? We're all guilty of it. We all, slide to the negative all too often. And that was kind of the point of my accomplishments vlog from the other day, was to try and focus a little bit on the positive in life. So I would say that some Grand Theft Auto YouTubers that I like include, obviously, Bruffy. Love Bruffy. I think he's a stand-up guy. He's real, and he does fantastic videos, whether it's his test videos or his Twitch live streams or his Choke Hazard podcast. By the way, Bruffy, hey, how's it going? Hit me up sometime. I have experience on a podcast, by the way. I'm part of Carrick's ACG podcast, so I'm just saying. I got skills a little bit. Anyways, so Bruffy's pretty cool. I kind of like Pyrealm. He's a little crazy, but he's likable, and I think he's an honest guy. He's just trying to make the best content he can make, and he does a good job. There's so many others out there as well that are making very good content. Unfortunately, there are a few out there as well that do clickbaiting, that will just go out there and intentionally grab as many views as they can, even if they're deceiving the audience. That's on their subscribers, though, because if you don't like a YouTuber for their practices, then unsubscribe from them. Don't give them your time. Your time is precious, and they don't deserve your time. But obviously, there are subscribers, viewers, and fans that like that content as well. And another way to talk about the good of the Grand Theft Auto community is the fact that I think that a lot of friendships have been made over the past 4 years because of Grand Theft Auto Online. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of people that fight and start raging at each other and griefing each other in the game. But I've made a lot of friends since starting my gaming channel nearly 4 years ago, thanks to Grand Theft Auto Online. Some of you I actually consider to be a friend, yes, or an acquaintance, and the experiences have been fun. All the times that we have just went crazy, just laughing, doing silly, ridiculous stuff and nonsense, and even the times when I've gotten salty. Sometimes it gets bad, but sometimes the salt isn't so radioactive, and there's a lot of good that has come from any community out there, and even the Grand Theft Auto community has its moments as well. And, the past 4 years I've done this channel, I've thoroughly enjoyed my experience with the Grand Theft Auto community, more or less. And I like the fact that we don't exist in this world with rose-colored glasses where, like other video game communities, I'm not going to single any of them out, but, a lot of them, they believe that theirs is the absolute best, and it's like a cult to them. With us, if Rockstar does something that pisses us off, like misclassifying a vehicle or, in our opinion, making a vehicle too expensive, we're going to complain about it. So that in its own way is a good thing. So, yes, there's a lot of other very good Grand Theft Auto channels out there. I know I'm doing a disservice by not mentioning them, but once again, I don't exactly have some notes before me. But one of my favorite other GTA channels besides myself is obviously Bruffy. So we got mad respect for Bruffy, and there's a lot of good role-playing communities out there as well. So definitely, there's some bad stuff out there when it comes to content creators revolved around YouTube and Grand Theft Auto and Twitch, but there's also good ones as well. And that's the way it's going to be for everything in life. Thanks for the question, Lunch. Moving on now to M3K. Do you plan to branch out and cover more games? Well, I mean, I do cover a lot of games. I mean, for example, I'm covering anything regarding Red Dead Redemption 2. I covered everything revolved around Mafia 3, all the promotional stuff, all the trailers, the main game itself, the DLCs for Mafia 3. And like I said, I'm going to be doing the same thing with Red Dead Redemption 2. And I'm going to be playing Sea of Thieves whenever it comes out in March. And I've played other games too, like Dead by Daylight occasionally. I post a Dead by Daylight video every now and then, along with a Friday the 13th video. I know those are not exactly popular on the channel, but, I do play them. And occasionally I even put out a Beat Cop episode, which some of you thoroughly enjoy. And whatever games come out in 2018 that piqued my interest, maybe Far Cry 5, that looks fascinating. I may play that as well. Just depends on the game that comes out and whether or not I actually legitimately want to spend some time either Let's Playing it or live streaming it. Thanks for the question, M3K. And once again, that similar question was I asked earlier. Like, to all of you, my awesome viewers, subscribers, and fans that are still listening this far into the Q&A, let me know below in the comment section, once again, what games coming out in 2018 are you most excited for, and what games do you think I should Let's Play or live stream on the channel? Next, let's go to Ricardo, who has changed his name a few times since yesterday. Like from Paige Harris to, Camacho. That was funny, though. As for the question, how many shark cards have you bought your entire Grand Theft Auto career? I don't even want to talk about that, Ricardo. A few bucks, because content's expensive now. To my credit, I don't buy everything that comes out with the updates, and I don't think you should buy everything that comes out, but I do try to buy a lot of it, at the very least, to show you guys, what I think is good and what I think sucks. But don't buy all the clothing, don't buy all the weapons, don't buy all this or all that. It's just insane. And I have also attempted to, try and pay for the new content by grinding, contact missions, heists, and earning the bonus money and the double money at times. But yeah, unfortunately, as things got more expensive in Grand Theft Auto Online, even I've had to resort to buying shark cards. So you're welcome, Rockstar and Take-Two. You're very welcome indeed. Thanks for the question, Ricardo. Moving on to Sedan. Hey, GeauxBurns. Here's a question. If you could take any franchise and put it into your ideal setting, what would you choose? Examples: Assassin's Creed in Imperial China, Battlefield, Return to World War II, 1970s Vegas Mafia 4, Grand Theft Auto 6, a.k.a. Vice City. Okay, here's what I would like to see, and it's going to be kind of ridiculous and silly and sci-fi, which is basically me. I want Rockstar eventually, whether it's with Grand Theft Auto or a brand new IP somewhere down the road, to give us a futuristic open world game similar to Grand Theft Auto. And it could be set in Vice City, it can be set in Liberty City. Maybe it's set in Vice City 2080s. And, it's been 100 years since the 80s, and they're just, bringing all that back. But they have all futuristic stuff, like hover cars, similar to the Deluxo. They have laser guns. You have the ability to teleport, or some other, like, random nonsense. Just all the usual future staples you see in movies and TV shows. I want to see that in a futuristic, fictional Grand Theft Auto game, or a similar open world game, maybe its own new IP created by Rockstar, because Rockstar likes to keep IPs in certain eras. Like, for example, the Red Dead franchise, I think, will always be revolved around westerns. Grand Theft Auto around, I guess, present day, or at the very least all the way back to the 80s. But at the same time, it'd be kind of cool if we had like a Grand Theft Auto 2080, and it was just them just coming up with wild, crazy, silly nonsense for what a future Grand Theft Auto game would look like. And maybe even it could be called like Grand Theft Auto New Vice City, and it could be set on Mars, and maybe it's like a giant dome city on Mars, on my home world, which we currently don't have any cities on Mars. Mars doesn't exist. You heard nothing. Anyway, so there you go. That's my wild, crazy idea for a futuristic Grand Theft Auto game. Thanks for the question, Sedan. Last but not least, let us go to SpiderMonkey. I have a question. If I have an oppressor but no missiles on it, should I sell it or do the research? The oppressor is a very good motorcycle simply for getting around the map. Especially if you've gotten good at the oppressor. If you already have it and you've already customized it to some degree, I mean, you can sell it, but at the same time, you're definitely not going to get all your money back on that investment. What I like about it is if you have a biker clubhouse, you can put in the biker clubhouse, you can call up the MC business and make yourself a president, and then you can magically make the oppressor spawn wherever you are on the map, which makes it more convenient for travel. So for convenience and for getting around the map, the oppressor is definitely a good investment in that regard. Now, it just depends on the missiles. Do you really need missiles on your oppressor? I mean, personally, I rarely use the missiles on my oppressor. That's not really a thing to me, but it did take time. It did take money to research to get to the point where I was able to unlock the missiles for my oppressor. And it's all random, as most of you know. It's not a checklist like, okay, what do I want to research next? If that was the case, I probably wouldn't have as much of an issue with research as I do. But I've ranted about research in the past, and I think that it's better left in the past. But overall, I think the Oppressor is a pretty decent motorcycle, especially since you can obviously glide a little bit with it, and you can call it up via the MC if you happen to have a biker clubhouse. Okay, so everybody, SpiderMonkey, Sedan, Ricardo, M3K, Lunchhawks, Logan, King, Kevin, Joseph, Hub, Elaine, Dylan, Console Gaming, CJ, Chris, Carlene, Kane, Camo, Brian, and Bacon. Thank you so much, guys, for submitting your questions. By the way, I triple, quadruple checked everywhere. Discord, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. I tried to make sure that I grabbed everybody's questions after the deadline Monday night. So hopefully I got everybody on this, rather long Q&A celebrating 6,000 subscribers. Once again, thank you so much to all of you guys. You're the reason why I keep doing this. I mean, I love making the content. I love gaming. But at the same time, you guys really do give me motivation to keep going. With the love in the comment section, the likes, follow me on Twitter, Facebook, joining us on Discord. You are the GeauxBurns Nation. And don't you ever forget that, whether you are a member of the stream team, you're one of our awesome modders, you're a commenter, whether you agree with me or disagree with me, you're still a member of this wonderful family, the GeauxBurns Nation. Several of you are my friends, so I'm humbled to have as friends. You guys are freaking awesome. You're the reason for the season. Yes, you are. The next Q&A will probably be maybe when we reach 7,000 in the year 2024.